What is going on, Nuts?
How y'all doing?
That song you're hearing right now is the new Haunted Air single.
That's us.
We are Haunted Air, and we're going to do a little self-promotion right now. Enjoy Half Dead by Haunted Air.
Afraid of this massacre.
I wake up half dead.
Oh my God, that's fire.
Yes,
that is
it is.
us. If you want to hear the rest of that song, stream it because you're probably on Spotify or Apple or something like that. Just type in Haunted Air, H-E-I-R, Haunted Air.
Like royalty.
That's it. And you're going to see that song come up. That song's called Half Dead. We worked with the producer, MT Streets. It was amazing. It's an amazing song.
Yeah.
We love that song.
And then listen to the rest of our stuff, too.
Yeah.
Follow us.
More coming, by the way.
Yes.
More music coming. We're going into the studio.
So
recording.
excited.
Actually, it might even be out. No, not yet. It won't be out by this time, but because when this episode airs, I was thinking.
Oh, well, we probably The Witch will.
The Witch should be out.
Yeah.
Which-
So we'll have another single out.
But that song is definitely out.
Yeah, we got a whole like cartoon little video of ourselves with a little witch.
It's called Half Dead, and we were thinking about putting it in the last episode because we talked about death.
Why did
But
you get
I'm
Southern?
too lazy and didn't want to do it because we already finished the last episode. So now we're moving on to the GOAT episode where we're going to talk about the greatest of all time serial killers.
That sounds good.
Bethany
and
Sean.
We
are a couple of nuts talking. We are a couple of nuts talking. So what's up, nuts? Welcome to a couple of nuts talking podcast.
Sometimes we just walk around and we talk like this to each
We're
other.
going to try to do a whole episode talking just like this, and it's going to be about serial killers.
It might be either the best
The greatest.
or the worst for you.
This might be the GOAT episode you ever listened to, or the not so GOAT episode y'all are listening
I'm
to.
trying to put myself in their shoes and see if I'm enjoying myself.
The more that I hear, the more obnoxious it sounds.
I think we should exercise this accent.
Let's exercise. So what's interesting about your accent is you're kind of going all over the place. You're
So
going
is
down
yours.
south, you're going up north, you're going west, you're going south. We're there.
Okay.
As
As soon as the insults start, I'm going to stop my
It's
act.
not an insult, little lady. It's just an observation.
All right, remember when
I
you
can't
said it was
believe what's
obnoxious?
going on in my mind right now.
Okay. Let's talk about serial killers.
Oh, man. So when you think about serial killers, hun, like, obviously the greatest of all time, it's not great. I got to say that because it's not great. Killing people is awful. We all know that. Greatest as in the greatest numbers, as in the most people killed or most prolific. You know, it's interesting. Who do you think of when you hear serial killer?
What, like off the top of my head?
Serial
but
killer.
I mean, I like serial killers, so a lot of them come in my head.
So give me one. Give me a serial killer that's
But
like,
I'm not going to give away my goat yet.
doesn't have to be the GOAT. Just
I mean, Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Classic serial killer, very prolific because the media made him so.
Right.
But he ate people. He was gay. He lured young men in. He did experiments. He drilled. Y'all have probably seen the Netflix special. I think they're making another season of it, which is weird.
Well,
but
it
he
is weird.
drilled holes in their heads, and he would pour acid in them because he wanted to make them little sex
Slaves.
zombies, little slaves.
And then Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, was that even a real one, or was that?
We don't know. It's also said that it was meant to evoke fear and keep people inside.
There's that, and there was also rumor that it was a group of people.
You're right. And then Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer, who they supposedly never caught.
And then Gacy the Clown in Chicago. That's where
John
I'm
Wayne
from.
Gacy, he was another family man, but was
Mhm.
gay. And
Yeah.
he lured young men to come work for him because he had a little electric company or something like that. And he'd bury their bodies under the house
The
where his
house.
family lived.
Yeah.
I wonder what his kids are up to.
Isn't he the one of the, aren't his kids the ones that sold his like art and stuff, I thought?
Probably.
Yeah. Like if you go to the Death Museum, his art's all up there.
Yeah.
I think they sold it to him.
Yeah. You were able to just actually he was still doing it because he was doing it for jail, I think, because they arrested him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was painting in
Yeah.
jail and selling them in
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah, every serial killer that went to prison ended up having like many pen pals and offers,
Yeah.
especially by women, even though they were gay, which is interesting.
You know, a lot of serial killers. That Chikatilo guy. I don't know if you're familiar with
Is
him.
that the highway one?
No, he was Russian. He was a Russian serial killer.
I don't know.
I don't know how many people he killed. Richard Ramirez, the Night
Ramirez,
Stalker,
yeah.
obviously. But when you Google serial killers and then list of serial killers,
Well, don't bring them up. Let's do our
I'm
own goats first, in case mine's on there. I didn't look.
No, yours is definitely not on here. I don't recognize any of these names on here.
Oh,
They're
well,
not
I
from
didn't
here.
say the one that's my favorite yet.
Oh, you have a favorite?
I do.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
H.H. Holmes.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Yeah. He's also a Chicago serial killer.
Devil in the Windy City.
Yeah, I love that book. And he would use the World Fair, the Chicago's World Fair.
Yeah, he killed a lot
to
of people.
kill like 30 people, like 25 to 30 people
I'll look up how
that
many
they
people
know
he
of.
killed. Yeah.
That they know of. But
he
he
had a
was
whole
like
chamber
in the
under his house.
1865,
H.H.
65, is that right? Mid 1800s.
1891. He was active between 1891 and 1894.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, he was before even
He confessed
the 20th
to
century.
27 murders.
Yeah, he confessed to those. Who knows how many other ones?
See, he confessed to 27 murders, including some people who were verifiably still alive. He was sentenced to death for only one murder, which is weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh,
But I
God.
just find it, I don't know, I love it. He always looks like he's high.
He was 34 when he died, and he was married 4 times.
Well, it makes sense because he's a serial killer. He doesn't know what he wants.
Some say
Yeah.
his body count may be as high as 133 or even 200.
Yeah.
So H.H. Holmes is your favorite serial
Yeah.
killer. Okay.
I just feel like, can you imagine a serial killer back in that time? Like, police didn't know, they had no anything. They couldn't, there was
I feel
no
like
evidence.
there were a lot of serial killers back in the day.
I do
because
too.
To be a serial killer, you only need to kill 3 or more people. And I feel like...
Well, and there's no way to get caught back then.
Right. I feel
Yeah.
like people were just killing people willy-nilly back then, feeding them to the hogs or something like that.
Yeah.
Feeding them to the hogs, something like that. Do I have a favorite serial killer? I used to be really into serial killers, and I had all the books on them. I liked Albert Fish a lot because he was into some really weird shit.
He
And
made like lamps and stuff, didn't he, out of the skins?
Fish did that, and
I like that guy too. Not Fish, the other guy who made like the lampshades out of skin. Do you know what I'm talking
I think
about?
Dahmer did that too. That was
Did he?
I think that was Albert Fish did all that,
Oh, okay, so it is Fish.
and he liked to put stuff in his butt. I remember I
I don't remember that
I had
part.
a book.
Interesting that you do.
Yeah, I had a. Well, I'll tell you
I'm
why.
kidding.
Because I had a book that had a picture of an X-ray of
Of his
Albert
butt?
Fish's stomach
Mm-hmm.
from stuff that he put in his butt. Sewing needles. He would shove sewing needles up his ass. What the fuck is that all
Do you know how
about?
much pain that he just liked pain?
He liked pain. He liked.
How
to be
long
in
did he live?
constant
'Cause
pain.
that-
He was an old guy.
No way.
Albert Fish. I'm gonna look him up.
Do you know what that
real
makes
quick.
me think? How remarkable the human body is.
Albert
How remarkable.
Fish.
No, honestly, honey, you got to think He's shoving.
Well, he was 65 when he died.
Okay,
but
so that's not that old.
but
But
he
it's
looks
also
like
way older than I thought if you're shoving needles up your asshole because you are scraping the whole inside. You're puncturing your intestines. You got it. How did he get it back up into his stomach? I want to know
Right.
is if that's weird. He's probably swallowing them too, honey, because you can't really go up through that intestinal tract. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, he
But-
did, though.
But I mean, they were probably in his asshole too. But the ones that are in his stomach, he swallowed. But what I'm saying
He
is,
was also known as
here's
the
what's
werewolf
incredible.
of Wisteria and the Brooklyn vampire
here's what I'm saying, babe.
and the boogeyman.
Shush. The human body is so remarkable because that guy lived to be 65 and he's shoving these stainless steel pins in his body. But the American diet will kill you
Yeah.
so quickly
Oh,
because of
yeah.
all the poisons that are in it, including in our air and our water, my opinion, just for entertainment purposes. But like that shit'll get you before shoving foreign objects that will puncture and hurt you. Do you know what I mean? It's just I love the human body.
Albert Fish's father was 43 years old, and his mother was 75 when he was born. Yeah.
What?
I didn't know that.
What? How?
Wait a minute. His father was 43
His
years.
father. I think you got to switch that.
Oh, wait a minute. No, his father was 43 years older than his mother and age 75. The
Okay.
dad was 75.
Yes. Oh.
Whoa, I was reading that wrong.
Wow.
So dad was 75, 43 years older than his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. He was 75 and his
32.
oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. Probably
Um,
rich. Even back then, that's what they would do.
fertilizer manufacturer.
Mm. Okay, so fish is your favorite.
One
H-
of.
Right. Well, no. I mean, you told me I had to pick
X-ray
one.
of fish's pelvis and perineum introduced as evidence to his trial, demonstrating more than 24 self-embedded needles.
See, perineum. So he was inserting them at both ends. He was swallowing and he was anally.
Yeah. There's his pelvic area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, this guy. So
Sticking them in.
he, fish poured peroxide. Oh, well, yeah,
I
okay.
mean, isn't it essentially just like people getting pierced?
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing, except he never took out the needle.
Yeah, so he's an interesting guy.
You know what'd be interesting? Him flying, because he'd have to go through the.
They didn't think
the X-ray?
they didn't have. He was alive in the late 1800s,
No,
the 1930s.
I'm
but
just
today,
saying,
if he was alive
if
today,
it was like, you would see all those fucking pins in his whole body.
yeah.
You'd be like, sir.
All right, so do you want to get into then the greatest fucking serial killers of all time that we've never even heard of?
I think we did this before, not on a podcast, just in our own enjoyment.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
And we were like, who the hell are these people?
We might have even done this on a podcast episode.
I know,
but
it
chances
feels
are
very us.
people listening to this probably haven't listened to all our older episodes, but you should. You should rewind, go back to the beginning of the Couple Nuts podcast, the beginning of it.
Oh, you'll hear a lot of that.
And
a
listen
lot more
to the
of
history. We used to talk a lot about poop and farts. Every episode, we had a mention of poop. Every
did.
episode.
We did. We've grown.
I
I mean,
think
that and also
we've
gotten
grown.
so much healthier. No, I think it's because we've gotten so much healthier. When we started in 2020, right?
Yeah.
We were eating, like, go watch our cooking show. We were disgusting because we had no knowledge.
Yeah.
We were ignorant fools.
Yeah.
And we were eating things that came out
Oh,
of
my
boxes.
God.
And we were, oh my God, we once made scalloped potatoes that lasted us for like 3 weeks.
I feel like we've mentioned that on this podcast.
Yes, but I'm just
many
saying,
times.
like,
and we
were
will mention
eating-
it again.
We were
because it was
eating
just-
fast food. We were eating Taco Bell. Like
we were
that
eating
alone.
so much Taco Bell.
Basically, like, I'm not
Proud
even
to
gonna
say we haven't had Taco Bell in what?
we haven't had
Years.
fast food other than El Pollo
fast
Loco.
food. We do Pollo Loco.
You do love Pollo Loco.
We do the Habit and In-N-Out Burger.
I don't do In-N-Out ever again.
But as far as like Mickey D's, Carl's Jr., Del Taco,
Wendy's, Burger King.
we haven't had that in years.
No,
But we used
Carl's
to.
Jr.
We used to eat McDonald's and fucking Taco Bell all
Sometimes
the time.
we would just sit on the couch and we would be like, McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then we would have to go. We would lose our minds.
And whenever we'd come home from like one of your shows or one of our
was our
shows
treat.
late,
It was
we'd be
our
like, "Oh,
treat.
let's just get some Mickey D's.
Yeah.
2 McDoubles and a fucking 6-piece chicken nug for this fat ass.
I'd get a a regular hamburger with pickles and ketchup and eat some
Fucking-
of your fries, and then I'd also get a sundae though.
chugging a large Coke at like 12:30 a.m.
That's another thing
My
we do,
God.
babe. I'll let you do the honors and tell them what we also stopped doing.
We've cut back. Actually, we have stopped. I haven't had a Coke. I have more of a problem than Bethany does. But we usually would have. But we did make the switch
You
to
still haven't
the
said what it is, so they don't know.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Okay.
Cola. We made the switch to the glass bottles because it had pure sugar cane in it. It wasn't the syrup stuff.
But it's not all the chemicals in it.
It did. And
We stopped drinking pop
we did. The liquor store right next to us had some glass bottles of Pepsi. I
because
cleaned them
we
out.
asked
I know.
for them.
So I cleaned them out. There was about 4 left. Bought them all. We drank them all. And we haven't had a soda in here since. Now, it has only been about 2 weeks. And we did just celebrate
Has
my
it been
birthday.
that long?
And I didn't have one soda
No.
pop for my birthday.
Has it been that long already? 2 weeks, you
I
think?
think so.
Wow.
I think we've lost a little bit of weight
We
already.
lost weight
Immediately.
immediately. I mean, he's jiggling his underarm right now, but
I just need to do some
but
push-ups.
you popped
Yeah.
from pop.
I was popped.
Yeah. And that already has been better. I mean,
Okay, I'm going to wrangle us in
Yeah,
now. I'm going to
wrangle us
wrangle us
in.
back in. Here we go.
thank God we took
Serial
our magic
killers.
mind.
Serial killers. Again, we took another one.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is another episode.
Mhm.
This is a different episode.
Yeah.
And you just gave the company a shout out.
I know. I'm going to take that out.
That's okay. No, I'm not taking it out. Magic Mind shots. Pretty cool. Nootropic. Serial killers. So, check this out. I guess this list isn't in any order because it's Wikipedia, and I don't actually believe everything Wikipedia says.
All right.
But Luis Garavito,
Okay.
Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela.
Sounds right.
193 proven victims.
Oh, my Lord.
Luis,
Allow it.
yeah, possible victims 194,
Because you know there are always more than it says.
194 to 300 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was a child murderer, torture killer, and rapist known as
Can I just say something?
La
This-
Bestia, the Beast.
I think this may avert a lot of people.
What, hearing about serial killers?
Yeah, like this isn't what you want to do through your day and then have this in your head. Not that it's serial killers, but I think once you bring kids in it, it's just like, it even made my stomach
I'm going to continue.
Okay. I'm just stating a fact.
Apologies if you don't want to hear this episode. It's going to be kind of graphic.
Maybe we
So,
should put a disclaimer on this.
Not going to put a disclaimer on it.
Okay.
He confessed to killing 140 boys between 6 and 16 years old from October 1992 to 1999
Wow, he didn't have a type
in
because
Colombia.
that's
Yeah.
so like 6 years old to teenage. Like
He's suspected
and
of
day.
murdering over 300 victims, mostly street children. So that must be a thing over in Colombia, Ecuador, and
Honey.
Venezuela. Street
Yes.
children. That's he was sentenced to 1,853 years in prison, but was oh my God.
what? Who's let go? How long? Why was he let
Okay,
go?
here we go. You want to hear something fucking crazy?
Yeah, of
This
course.
motherfucker killed hundreds of kids. Gravito was originally sentenced to 1,853 years in prison,
Good, not long enough.
but this was later reduced to 22 years.
What?
After he led police to many of the bodies of his victims. He was scheduled to become...
Oh wait. So we just can kill a bunch of people, but we'll tell you where they are and then get off.
Check it out. And then he was eligible for parole in 2023. He died October 12th.
How old was he when he had 22 years to go? Like what year was he caught? How old was he?
Well, he was active between 92 and 99, so he was caught in 99.
Right. But what's his age? I want to know what 22 years plus on his age is.
He
Because like if he's
was
25, that's fucked up.
66 when he died.
So 25. So he's 41 when he got caught.
Yeah.
That's atrocious.
They're all in Colombia and Ecuador.
Mhm.
All the most prolific that we don't know about.
Can I throw this out for entertainment
the
purposes?
goats?
Can I throw this out for entertainment purposes now knowing what we know about a lot of things, babe? Do you think perhaps that this was somebody bought to do this and those kids at first were not killed, they were taken? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what.
And then he got pardoned because
I don't know what the situation's like. Like, is he an Epstein, like a Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein? I don't know what the situation in Ecuador and Colombia is as far as
Honey.
like children, street children go. Apparently, it's a thing.
It's definitely a thing. I mean, I shot a movie in Nicaragua. There are kids running around rampant, no parents to be seen.
Street children
Everywhere.
are poor or homeless children who
they're-
live on the streets.
I don't know how they live. I think their parents probably kind of neglect them and tell them to leave. And then, like during the day, and they can come back maybe and sleep there. I don't know what the thing is, but all I know is you walk through Nicaragua and you will get a myriad of kid after kid after kid asking,
Offer
begging
you
for money,
candy
trying
or-
to sell you a piece of jewel, like everything under the sun. You also see kids with guns, like walking around.
I will say this about America: not many street children here. Props, good on you, America.
Well, we have institutions for children, foster systems.
So
They-
that's Luis Garavito, 194 to 300 plus. Moving on to another one, Colombia and Ecuador and Peru. Pedro Lopez. Proven victims, 110. Possible victims, 300 plus. Another child murderer, rapist known as the Monster of the Andes. Lopez targeted young girls between the ages of 8 and
See?
12.
See, look, was this the same years?
No, this was 69 to 80. The other guy was 92 to 99.
Okay.
So arrested in 1980 and convicted in 1983 of killing 3 young girls, but claimed to have killed hundreds. Despite being believed to be one of the most prolific serial killers of the 20th century, he was released in the late 1990s.
See, I'm telling you.
So in Ecuador, Colombia, all this shit, you why wouldn't you kill a bunch of kids
That's
if you
what
could
I'm
just
saying.
get away with it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Honey, this is all part of the siesta.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking Pedro Lopez, everybody. Look him up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're moving to the Middle East. We're moving to Pakistan. Javed Iqbal, 98
No,
to
his
99.
last
Wow.
name
This guy was active
it
for
all.
1 year,
Mhm.
and he killed 100 kids.
So every other day.
They're all okay. All the most prolific serial killers. Obviously, if you have that many victims, they've got to be kids.
And there are tons more than that.
They've got to be kids.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be out. No, someone would have gotten away.
They're
At
always
least one.
kids.
Yeah.
This guy,
So simple. You know what? It's so cowardly.
of
Not-
course.
Because they're just
Ooh,
What?
this guy was a child murderer and rapist known as Kukri. Iqbal murdered 100 street children.
wait.
by
He has the same last name as the other guy.
No, this is the same guy
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about. Strangling them and covering up his crimes by dissolving the bodies with acid.
Ugh.
He was
like
arrested.
Dahmer.
Let's see if he got out. He was arrested in December of 99 after sending a letter to a newspaper. Yada, yada. He died in custody before he could be executed. So they were going to kill him. Pakistan, at least they killed the child killer.
Maybe.
Oh, man. Ooh. Now we're going to Russia. We're going to Russia. Mikhail Popkov.
I can't imagine Russians being okay with this.
This guy was
he
active.
definitely got killed.
This guy was active from 92 to 2010.
Oh.
Serial rapist killer, nicknamed the Werewolf, who was active for 2 decades. After being convicted of 22 murders in 2015, he confessed to an additional 59 murders, which he was convicted of. 83 victims, sentenced to life.
Hmm.
This is dark stuff, babe.
That's why I was like, we
Damn.
can't have the whole episode like this.
I mean, let me just do a couple more here. Those first guys were.
Although I
mean,
feel like just have the whole episode because if someone tuned out already,
yeah.
they're not going to listen anymore. So, but I'm assuming if they
Whoa.
already like all of our stuff, then they
Check this
totally
guy
get
out. Check this guy out.
Hmm.
Abul Jabbar. He was in Afghanistan. Proven victims, 65. Possible victims, 300 plus. Killed. At least this guy killed men. But he killed 65 men and boys by strangling them with turbans while raping them.
Oh my God.
Sentenced to death and hanged on. Good. In Afghanistan, they kill your ass.
Yeah.
And then, okay, here we go. Now we're to the States. America. Samuel Little. Yeah, I remember that name.
Mm-hmm.
He was active from 1970 to 2005. Yeah. I think he was here.
That's 35 years.
I think he was here in L.A., actually. He was killing prostitutes. 60 proven victims, possible victims, 93. Little was convicted of killing 3 women But later investigations linked 31 other murders to him.
Is he the guy who always wore overalls? I feel like we watched something on him, and we watched his family, like his wife knew or something.
No, he was a black dude, and he was
no,
solo.
That's somebody else.
He was single.
That's somebody else then.
It was in Hollywood. I remember reading about it then. I remember when they caught him. Because there's active serial killers now, but they just don't talk about it on the news because it would probably scare everybody.
Well, no, then they would totally do it.
You would think there's certain fears I think they want to instill in people, and they want you out there consuming.
Right.
So if there's a serial killer, you're not going to be out there. But that was Samuel Little. That was America.
I also feel like in this day and age, if you're getting away with this, then you're getting help, because with all the DNA, all the cameras everywhere, the internet trail, the phones pinging off. Like, how are you getting away with this?
Yeah.
So if they are, I'm just putting this out there for entertainment purposes, my opinion.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, true that. But I feel like a lot of these serial killers are older guys. And they don't do the phones. They don't do the internet.
Honey, it doesn't matter.
They
They're in
ride
a car.
around and they pick up prostitutes.
But they are in a car, so there are, whether you know this or not, everybody, there are cameras everywhere. You are being watched everywhere.
Not in small towns. But are prostitutes? I guess they
No.
would be considered the street children of America.
I mean,
even
if
though
they're
not
under,
kids.
well, no, then they're not.
I'm just saying, technically, not by the age, but by, I guess
I would say
don't know if they
17 and under, and 17 would be probably not even included. Like 15, 16 and under are considered kids.
Okay, we could stop there. So
Yeah.
the GOAT serial killers are Luis Garavito with 194 to 300 plus possible victims, and he's in Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, who was sentenced to only 22 years. And then Pedro Lopez, Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador, 300 plus victims possibly.
Yeah.
And then you got the Pakistani homie. Damn, so those are the GOATs. Top 3 serial killers of all time, just by the numbers, not necessarily the most, I don't know if any of them are likable, but there are some that are adored.
Mm.
A lot of people like Charles Manson, but he wasn't a serial killer. I think he only shot one person.
Well,
if
he
I'm
was
not
a cult
mistaken.
leader, and I think that people look up to those people.
Oh, next we should do GOAT cult
Yes.
leaders.
Yes.
That's
You know
what
what's
I'm
an
talking
interesting
about.
thing we could talk about is Waco, because people think he's like a cult leader, but he was actually just trying to like influence people to get educated on what's going on.
You're
in
going to
this
have to save that
country.
thought, honey, because that's too deep of a
No, I
rabbit
know.
hole to go
I know.
down right at this moment.
I'm just saying, I want to put it down so
Why
we
don't
remember.
we flip it to something positive for the last
Can
little
we?
while here?
But that's what I feel like. People already tuned out, and it was like,
No.
whoa.
I think we got some of our regulars
Oh
still
no,
here with
of
us.
course there's people still here, and we love you. But I don't take it personally if someone was like, not how I want to start my day.
Can I do a little flashback here, a little nostalgia? You remember 1 Hour Photo?
I mean, that movie with
No,
Robin Williams.
no. 1 Hour Photo, like the business.
Oh yeah,
Like you take your roll of film in and you could get it within an hour.
yeah. I never used that.
I wonder how many of the, I guess this isn't positive, but I wonder how many of those people that developed the films, because there was dirty film.
Oh yeah, you were getting money, probably.
There's
so-
probably also some really disturbing film. Like
yeah,
I
they
wonder
probably
how
took
many
the negatives.
I wonder how many of them got turned in. Were you allowed to if they're developing film?
I think so.
You
I
could?
think I think it's if you think somebody's getting hurt, but the other side to that is whoever's taking the pictures could be like, that was fake.
Yeah.
Like it was just for film purposes.
I took some sexy films into a 1 Hour Photo before a couple times.
Okay.
I wonder if they kept them.
Of course they did.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
I
you?
would have.
They probably have entire stash of just titties, ass, and puss that they don't have.
Yeah.
Dicks. Just all sex pics.
Sex pics.
Like they probably still have them to this
Fuck
day.
pics.
They're
They're probably
like
on the internet
60-year-old
somewhere.
men, yeah.
It's probably on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
But you can't post that because that would be stealing. But is it after a certain amount of time you'd be allowed to post? No.
Mm-mm.
No, because that's
No,
just straight
it's
up.
personal property.
Wow.
I'm sure it's in some sort of like, contract that. Do you have to sign when you would do that? Did you sign?
I don't remember. They had drive-through 1 Hour Photos.
Isn't it just Walgreens? Is that what you're talking
It
about?
was Save on Drugs. CVS did it because they were Save-On became CVS.
Huh.
I wonder how sad they were when the digital shit started coming in. Because now that's just a non-existent thing.
No, now you print out your digital stuff.
You do at home. I mean, you could still go to
No, we
Walgreens
went
and do
to
the
Walgreens.
self-service kiosk thing, but they were probably so sad.
But they still have to print them out. It's just now it's a printer instead of like print paper. I mean, film paper.
Yeah. I was just thinking about 1 Hour Photo. But yeah, that was a great movie because he was crazy. Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
1 Hour Photo, friends. Go see that movie.
You know what I was thinking is I bet you the 1 Hour Photo people were the ones with the crazy film. And that's why they decided to do that for a living.
That's why, because they could develop their own shit and nobody would ever see it.
Wait, was that Robin Williams or no? What was that story?
Robin Williams was a really sweet guy that worked at a 1 Hour Photo, and he had been there for so long that he kind of like felt like he knew the people that brought the films in. So there was this one family, this wife, she would always bring hers in.
Oh, right.
So he
okay.
felt like he was a part of the family. He'd be like, hey, so see Jackson's 8th birthday just passed. Happy birthday. And she was like, what? And then he became very obsessive with the family.
Yeah.
And he was a twisted, kind of demented guy, and he wanted to insert himself. And then he felt there was a connection between him and the wife, and then he wanted to remove the husband.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. Some of Robin Williams' finest work when he did that serious shit.
I love him.
He actually always did serious shit.
Yeah.
There's this movie called The World According to Garp. Did you ever see that with Robin Williams?
I might have. What's it about?
I think it's from the 80s. He plays a guy named Garp, and it's like a coming-of-age type thing.
No,
I think.
maybe
I saw it once or twice when I was really stoned back in the day. And I was like, oh, my God, this movie's incredible. Made me cry because I was so high.
No, I saw Cadillac Man. I saw Patches. I saw Good Morning Vietnam.
Man, this makes me want to watch a Robin Williams movie.
I love him so much, man. One of the things he said at Comedy Store to me, because he saw how nervous I was.
Yeah.
You know how I get in my head.
Yeah.
More than nervous, I get anxious, and he came up to me and he said, "You already got the job."
Yeah. You see?
He makes me cry.
Wait a minute.
Makes me cry.
I told you that.
No, he told me that.
Oh, well, then I also told you
You've
that.
also told me that.
Without knowing that Robin Williams told you that.
Yeah. But no, he said that a long
You
time
already
ago.
got the job.
You already got the job.
Fucking get in there,
I
Tiger.
tell
Have
people that
fun.
all the time now because it moved
Hey, Nuts.
my life.
Nuts. You guys already got the job.
You already got the job.
Get in there and have some fun with it.
But,
That's what I'm talking about.
but
What?
there's something about him. And
Robin
he looks
Williams?
at you with these eyes. And that's it. He didn't say, "Hi, my name is." What's your?
Hi, my name is what?
My name is
what? My name is Robin Williams.
It was such a like blip, probably for him.
Yeah.
And it was.
Of course it was.
It was just like Larry the Cable Guy came up to me in my first year, and he said to me, he goes, he's like, "Don't ever play to the back of the room."
No, didn't he have more of an accent like we were
Well,
doing
no,
in the beginning of
but
this?
he didn't really. But
Oh, it was fake. Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
of
that
course.
it's
You got to
fake.
turn you turn it on.
he turns it on.
That's the thing you do when you're a comedian. You kind of like you're from
Yeah.
Chicago, you can really turn up that Chicago accent.
Well, what's interesting, at least for me, and you know this just by being with me, when I get angry or passionate or whatever.
Oh, it's true. It comes out.
It comes out. So when I'm on stage, my true self just like my seed of who I am just goes, "Ah!"
Yeah.
And like I can't control it because I know when I moved here, I tried not to have it. Like I thought down on it. And now I realize like it's part of who I am. And like, or I talk to my mom and then it'll come back.
I hear it come out when
Yeah.
you guys are together. It's adorable. My mom, when she would get really upset because she was from Brooklyn, that accent would
Right.
come out.
So I'm not saying anything about Larry Cable Guy. It could just very well come out naturally when he is at his nth on stage.
Yeah.
But I remember after I got off stage, he came up to me and he said, "You're playing to the back of the room." By the way, in a comedy club, the back of the room means all the comics. That's where all the comics stand and
Right.
sit. And they're watching you and they're judging you. And he said, he goes, "Don't do that. You got something." He's like, "You play to the front of the house because they're paying to see you.
Yeah.
They're paying for tickets." And I went, "Oh my God." And he was like, "Always play to the front of the house."
Nice.
And he goes, "Those guys back there," and he pointed to all the comics. He's like, "They're never going to laugh where they're supposed to laugh."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't learn from them."
What's
And
up, Larry?
I know.
The cable guy.
He was amazing. He
What a
again a blip on his
badass.
radar. But
Well, those types of comics, those guys are huge
legends.
and they're
not insecure.
they're not insecure, but also a blip on their radar because for decades they just have been going to clubs, meeting fucking hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, and I think
comedians.
I think it's the people that, I mean, whatever, I could be saying this, but the ones, I don't even know how to say it because it makes me sound whatever. But like when he came up and he says, I see something,
Yeah.
but I see also what you're doing wrong and I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
Like people don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's all about lack and it's all about like, if I know something, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, you do. You
I
give notes to people, which is real sweet.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I hear something, I'm going to give it to you. I don't care if you use it or
See,
not.
and that's the thing. I feel like people are actually dying for that. They want that.
They get very excited when I tell
Yeah,
them.
I've seen it.
I have had a few people in, not for nothing. They don't know it, but maybe in their ego. And they're just like, what are you doing trying to give me this stuff? But like,
I get
just
like that
genuinely,
sometimes with the music when we're writing music, but then
Yeah.
I get over it.
But I genuinely just want to give. Like, here, I hear this. And I come from a world creatively where I think like infinite. I'm never out of ideas. I never have had writer's block. And I'm grateful for that. But like, I don't come from a place where if I give you this joke, I could use it and it might work. Like, I'm just
Right.
like, here we go. And then who else did I get really great advice from? Well, Gary Shandling and I were buds, and he was always dropping random knowledge. He was
Yeah.
also always fighting with me, which is really interesting, but I miss him. But he told me a lot of stuff, and he's actually the one who told me to start writing and punching up other people's work,
Yeah.
which is what I do. So I wouldn't have done that ever if it wasn't for him, because like I didn't even know that was an option. And then when you
R.I.P.,
find
Gary.
out, I know. And then when you find out all the stuff he did and he never took credit because all he wanted was money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it. And it's changed my life. Like, it makes me think differently. I don't need my name on it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, but here, this kind of stuff comes easy and I love doing it. Just pay me and I'll be on my way. Like, I don't care.
There you go.
And that has, I think, shifted in every part of what I do.
Yeah.
It's different. But but if you talk to my younger comedic self, I would have thought, there's no way I'm giving away a joke. Oh my God, what if I
Of
can use
course.
it? Oh, this. And you know how many notepads I have, how many spirals, how many, like I literally wrote constantly every second. I feel like I have a joke for everything. And we would be out and I'd be like, oh, I have that. I have some of that. Oh, I've totally written jokes on that.
Yeah.
Like at some point you have to just be like, everybody's thinking about everything.
Yeah.
But like, obviously there's blatant people. I've been ripped off and completely stolen, had my stuff stolen. But for the most part, it's just everyone's got jokes everywhere. And who cares if you give them a couple of jokes? Like,
Who cares if
I
you
think
give 'em a
it'll-
couple of jokes from a couple of nuts?
I just think it's so hard for me to talk about comedy for some reason, but like I always think it'll come back around. Now, in the comedy world, it hasn't. Like
Yeah.
but God doesn't
Honey,
always give
the-
it to
the
you the way you
entertainment
think.
industry,
Yeah.
comedy, music, whatever. It's a bunch of backstabbing narcissists. A lot of people are just in it for themselves, and they will steal
Yeah.
from you,
Yeah, they have.
and they won't look back.
And that's why it's hard, because when I was really in it, like my first 10 years, you have to be around everybody. You have to be networking. You have to be hanging out all the time. And I don't have that in my blood. Like I don't, it doesn't give anything to me. If anything, it makes me exhausted. And I'm just like, I don't get it. And although there's lovely people, there's way
Of course
more
there's-
not lovely people.
Yeah.
And negativity and weirdness and misogyny and all of those wonderful things that are everywhere, but it's a lot. And it was just like, this isn't making me happy anymore.
Yeah.
For a long time. It took me a long time to figure it out because I was in
Yeah,
denial.
shitty people are. Back to Robin Williams. I remember because I used to listen to the Howard Stern show. And when Robin was still alive, he was playing like some interview clips of him. And Howard was like, because Robin was all hyped up, always like, da, 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 da. And then I just remember Howard talking shit like, God, is this fucking guy ever fucking serious? He's just always fucking turning it on. Just talking shit about Robin. I thought that was so gross.
Well, I think Howard Stern's disgusting. And I don't care if people love him. Who are
used
listening.
to love him. I mean, I bought Sirius Satellite for him, but I don't listen to him anymore.
God. In fact, I feel like if you like Howard Stern, we probably have a rare chance of being friends. Because
I don't say that, honey. I mean, I listened to Howard I grew up on Howard. My mom loved Howard, but I haven't listened to Howard in at least a decade. More than a decade.
Can I just say this? How is it? Now I'm just throwing this out there, but how is it that in today's day and age, Howard Stern has gotten away from being canceled? Because can we rewind how he
we know.
used to treat women and talk shit and what he's done on his show? But it's totally okay and acceptable because right now he's able to speak on whatever it is he's speaking on, which is completely changed. Like, that to me is psychotic. Like such double standards, such hypocrisy.
I agree, baby.
And then he's part of the instigation of certain cancellations of others, including comics. And I'm pretty sure he would call himself a comic DJ or whatever he is. I don't know host.
What he is.
But he would think that he's on the comedy side of it, totally willing to throw people under the bus and whatnot, giving up his freedom of speech, which is what he makes his bread and butter on.
He'll never hear any of this, so, whatever. But, hey, Howard Stern. Fuck yeah. That's a good note to end on right there.
Really? We're already done?
Honey, we're going strong here. Okay?
I feel like
we went from
gave
serial
a poo-poo
killers to
attitude.
comedy. I don't think you did.
Okay, good. Because I don't like...
It's not a poo-poo attitude, and you don't need to go back into it because this is the end of the episode, and I'm going to end it talking how I started it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Be sure to follow us on all.
Stay nutty, everybody.
Wait, but we didn't hit the plugs yet. Now, now the song we played in the beginning is called Half Dead. It's by Haunted Air. Be sure to go stream it. Spotify, Apple iTunes, and if you can't afford that, it's on the YouTubes as well.
Find yourself a stack of hay. Get comfy. Light a pipe. Get a cold iced tea.
Sweet tea.
A sweet tea. And listen to some Half Dead.
Half Dead by Haunted Air. And be sure to follow Haunted Air and a couple of nuts talking on Facebook.
And then share it with your other folks.
Share it with your friends. Share it with a friend. Now y'all take care. And until next time.
All right. Stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now. Kemp says.
Woo-hee.
Bethany.
And
Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking